Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with more top tier decks from professional players. No matter what your preferred playstyle is, there's gonna be a deck today for you. Whether it's a full offense deck blasting your opponents to bits with a powerful Sparky deck, or slowly but surely securing the win by chipping out your opponent with a Cycle deck. If you enjoy any of the decks today, check out the pinned comment for a full video on each one of the decks. Let's get right into some games and assert dominance. Today's video is brought to you by Manscaped.com, the men's global lifestyle brand that has the right tools for all the dads this year. Manscaped is trusted by over 8 million men worldwide for their trimmers, hygiene formulations, and premium boxers. My dad's favorite thing was the Beard Hedge trimmer. It features a 7,200 RPM motor with a titanium-coated T-blade to cut through the thickest of hair in a single stroke. And for the dads that are starting to show a little bit too much nose and ear hair, the Weed Whacker 2.0 is a perfect gift. It's got a powerful 7,000 RPM motor with a 360-degree rotary dual blade system. And finally, if you want to be bold, the Lawnmower 4.0 is a great gift. The Lawnmower 4.0 has ceramic blades with skin-safe technology to reduce nicks and cuts. If you want to gift the Lawnmower and the Weed Whacker, both are included in the Performance Package 4.0. This package also includes the Crop Preserver Reviver and 2 free gifts. So go to Manscaped.com today. If you want to get those 2 free gifts, you'll also get 20% off at checkout if you use code SIRTAG. And on top of that, you'll be getting free international shipping too. That's 20% off of your purchase, free international shipping, and 2 free gifts if you use code SIRTAG at Manscaped.com. This guy's got a Battle Healer in his banner. It's going to be interesting to see if he's actually going to be running an Elixir Golem deck. Because most of the time, if you're running Battle Healer, it has to be paired with either a Golem or Elixir Golem deck. This guy is going to be just going in for a Miner and a Bomb Tower, so it's going to be one of the more casual meta decks that you see in every single time in Clash Royale. Bomb Tower is one of those cards that a lot of people complain about, and they're like, oh, I have no counter to Bomb Tower. There's no way to win. But if you're able to snipe it with your Fly Machine or get the Fly Machine to bypass your opponent's units and then go lock onto the tower, you can still win. Also, you're able to use your Spear Goblin Hut, your Zappies, your Recruits to bait out your opponent's Bomb Tower, so then they don't have the Bomb Tower in cycle for your Royal Hogs. So that's how we play this matchup. We'll show you guys the secret to success. His Spear Goblin counters are really limited, it seems, because he's not dropping anything on top of that on the right-hand side. I can also go in for the Skeleton King ability on top of the Giant Skeleton, and Phoenix is a huge problem for me. Though I guess playing against Phoenix and Bomb Tower might make this matchup significantly more spicy. The reason why I hate Phoenix is it can capitalize on my Fly Machine in more situations than not and lock onto my Fly Machine and finish it off. My Fly Machine, when I try to go and snipe my opponent's units, it's going to be very limited in its availability to get value. So what do? Do we go for Royal Hogs on the right-hand side? It's just going to get countered by a opponent's Bomb Tower. So I think our best bet is just to go for the Spear Goblin Hut, and that should be able to give us some damage over time and also put the pressure on our opponent. If he decides to go and spam us with a balloon, that's totally fine because we do have Zappies in cycle. It's only going to get 1 hit on my tower. Meanwhile, I think the Spear Goblins will do almost a similar amount over time. I wonder. No, he's just going to go for Bomb Tower, I guess. My Spear Goblins won't give us the damage we want. It will be able to do some damage to the Bomb Tower or the tower, though, right? Okay, cool. So the Bomb Tower is starting to decay over time, and we are starting to gradually get back into the game. I could arrows here on top of the Bomb Tower to finish it off a little bit faster. I think that's going to be our best bet. If we can decay the Bomb Tower and then go for Royal Hogs with the Spear Goblins, this will force out a lot more Elixir from our opponent, right? Spear Goblins are able to deal some hefty damage to the Giant Skeleton. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to arrows and Giant Skeleton, which, I mean, didn't even hit all the pigs. Wait, we're in a great spot. Let's go, guys. We can Fly Machine in the back to finish off the rest of his Giant Skeleton. We can go in for the Goblin Hut in the same side as him going in for the Balloon. And yeah, he went in for the Balloon as expected. We should be okay here. I mean, he just ended up using his arrows, so I don't think he has any way of killing all the Spear Goblins from the Goblin Hut. So the Goblin Hut will be able to kill the rest of the Balloon. And then I can follow through with a Royal Hogs and Fly Machine on the right-hand side. We know for a fact that he's going to lose the Bomb Tower. I can go for another Fly Machine here. He's probably going to go Giant Skeleton, but it'll probably be too late if I had to guess. Yo, let's go! That's incredible. We were able to melt his tower despite him having Phoenix for a Fly Machine and Bomb Tower for a Royal Hogs. It just shows you this deck is able to counter all the counters as long as you get them at a low amount of Elixir and force out their counters using your Spear Goblin Hut and Royal Recruits so then you can get them in a bad card cycle. So GG and well played to our opponent. There wasn't that much you could do at the end. It was a pretty fun game. Getting into the game here, we're going to see what's happening. Definitely want to go for a Goblin Hut. It's the strongest starting play with this deck. And we're able to figure out what our opponent's got. Wow, he's really going to Graveyard first play. Is he going to freeze me? Usually, yeah, that's usually what happens. Whenever you see a Graveyard first play, you can expect your opponent to go in for a frisky freeze to freeze the units. Otherwise, it's like, well, you're going in for a Graveyard without any support, so it's obviously not going to work. Fortunately for us, the Skeleton King can soak up all the souls and then unleash a Graveyard back at our opponent. You know, we double it and send it back to our opponent. That's what's up. Oh, man. So we're in a pretty good spot. I think the Spear Goblins on the right-hand side are a fully fledged win condition. Spear Goblin Hut is way more effective after the Spear Goblin buff. I think it's one of the most underestimated cards in the game. Because pro players are like, oh, Spear Goblin Hut's one of the worst cards in Clash Royale. Never play spawners. And then it got buffed. And then because everyone's playing Mega Draft, you don't see many different decks with Spear Goblin Hut rising to the top of the leaderboard. But I genuinely think it's one of the most strong cards out of all the spawners in the game. It is the #1 spawner for sure. This guy is going to go in for Mighty Miner in his deck as well. It's interesting to see this type of card combination. The Mighty Miner, Graveyard Freeze. I think we go for Royal Hogs, and if he decides to go for Tombstone, we can arrow it depending on what he does. I think we're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, we're going to arrow on top of the Tombstone immediately, so then the piggies have a paved pathway straight towards the tower, and then not too much pain from the skeletons just hitting them with their little skeleton swords. I was going to say, like, skeleton toothpicks, because I was like, oh, they're just, like, kind of poking. They're not really hurting anything. But no, they are swords, right? So the skeletons are probably going to die to the Skeleton King. He's like, yo, I'm reclaiming my throne out here. And we separated our fly machine near our King Tower. So I was like, if you want to activate King Tower for me, be my guest. I feel like that would be the ultimate test to see if you can beat our deck. There's no chance that any graveyard player ever wants to activate King Tower. We're going to go and pop the Skeleton King ability, so then hopefully we can emerge the skeletons all over the Mighty Miner and not have to worry about that. Also, drop your Goblin Hut a little bit lower, so it's near the King Tower, so then it's just like separating your stuff even further, so then it's hard for him to get a good freeze. So if the Spear Goblins are in the front, and then they're also spawning in the back, the opponent's like, well, I have no plans of attacking. So I'm going to go and split up my Zappies here. I want immediately arrows on top of those archers. They are kind of a threat. This guy is a massive memer, dropping the graveyard first play as well. So it's cool that we can just continuously punish him right now. Because he's not able to go in for many graveyards. After that first graveyard, that was kind of all he got. Now he's just getting spammed. Look at that. Wham, bam, I bridge spam. Spear Goblins, Zappies, Royal Recruits, I choose you. So even if he arrows us, there's more Spear Goblins that immediately just come back on the doorstep. And they're like, oh, you know, my brothers died, but I'm taking their place. We're going to send you to your Tombstone disgrace. He's going to go for Tombstone, and then he's just going to die, right? Oh, he's not even dropping the Tombstone. Interesting. I guess he's saving that for the Royal Hogs. I guess that's the best bet for him. He can go and blast all the skeletons to bits, but then, you know, we got Spear Goblins and more skeletons on deck. Jeez, man. The constant spam that you can do with this deck is absolutely relentless. Spear Goblins are going to come through, and then I guess we can arrow him out. If the fly machine doesn't want to finish him out, then we can just go for arrows. I don't know. Kind of an interesting game where our opponent just decided to chill, relax, and not really do much the entire time, but just try to defend. It was like an endless tower defense game where he had to try to defend all these waves, and eventually he got overwhelmed. The zombie apocalypse of Spear Goblins and Skeletons was absolutely unstoppable. All right, we got another one here. This guy's name is Full of Love. So we're going to give you the proper attention that you need with our archers. They're kind of like Cupid. They're shooting bow and arrows at you, giving you some like late Valentine's Day present. I know it's very belated and you might break up with our archers, but at least know that they had the thought, and the thought is what counts. We're going to go in for our aggressive goblins here to be able to tank for his archer, and then we could go for a goblin drill to go and pull back the Mighty Miner, or just like make our opponent a bit annoyed with us. And I think that's always fun to do. I could tornado everything back and then dash. It just doesn't seem worth it to me because I'm probably playing against... Oh, wow. I did not expect that. Out of all the things to play against, that was not on my bucket list. He's actually going to be packing a Lava Hound deck with Mighty Miner and a Phoenix. But if you guys are noticing... Oh, no, Executioner. You just trolled me, bro. I was going to say it's all lined up perfectly. Oh, never mind. It is lined up perfectly. I trolled myself. It was a back and forth, not knowing what was happening moment, but... It worked out beautifully in the end. That's all that cares. All I care about. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. The fact that he didn't kill the Executioner. The Executioner was targeting the Lava Hound. Then it went back to targeting the Phoenix. And it was just a mismatched situation. I'm not going to go and click the Golden-Eye Dash because I'm pretty sure I take the entire tower. And notice how the Executioner hits the archers behind the tower because of its ridiculous range. That is such a cool concept of being able to pierce through a tower and still hitting units behind it. You would think that the tower would be thick enough to absorb all of the shots, but it's simply not strong enough. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. So I think we've won this game. Pretty ridiculous start, but we'll take the W. And it appears that our opponent might not have enjoyed that experience and completely dipped out of the game. So we dipped our toes into his side of the arena and towed away each one of his crowns. And that easy win puts us at 4,100 in the world. You're a Braveheart, apparently. So let's see what's up, brother. We're going to go in for a miner here and try to get some cheeky chip. You guys know the deal. Drop your miner in the safe spot. Wait, it's safe. It's away from the mighty miner. I was like, we're going to be fearful of tornado, but I guess we have to fear the mighty miner with a royal giant. Oh my gosh. He really is brave. He's eating all the damage and not caring about his tower at all. He's like, a measly miner? I've got the mighty miner. Measly miners don't matter to me. Okay, so we're going to go in for a bomb tower here, and then we're going to go for an ice spirit just to make sure that the mighty miner targets that. He's going to go for a lightning. He doesn't end up hitting the phoenix. That's very nice for us. Because if he ended up hitting the phoenix, then the royal giant would have been a huge pain. Okay, so we're not going to go and drop our golden knight dash. It just doesn't really matter that much to us. We could go for a tornado here. And the reason why I do that is I want to make sure that the phoenix egg stays alive, and we were able to kill the fisherman, right? So killing the fisherman was huge. That was big brain for us. Finishing off the skeletons means that the miner gets more damage, but finishing off the fisherman meant that we got a resurrected big bird in his face. So this guy with Royal Giant, typically it's going to be a more difficult matchup if they're going to end up having Monk, because it reflects back the bomb tower. And in that matchup, what you want to do is you want to cycle a lot of Phoenixes in the back because those bird shots can't be reflected. And then use your Ice Spirit on defense to counter the Royal Giant with Tornado instead of using your bomb tower. But since he's got Mighty Miner, we can use our bomb tower to full effectiveness. All right, we can go in for Skellies in the back on the same side, and we're just going to chill and wait and see what he wants to do. High chance he goes and pops the ability and goes other side, but we've got Ice Spirit for that, so it's not super scary for me. I'm going to go and drop their Ice Spirit right now, just make sure that we can go and counter that a little bit more effectively, and then we're going to go in for a bird to minimize his damage here, and also potentially apply pressure in the other side. Do we want to go in for the Golden Knight Dash? Not really, because then we would have to allocate a Tornado, and that would just be too costly for me. The Phoenix is going to go onto the tower, as I was talking about, or he's going to have to spend more Elixir. I think that the Skeletons were slightly misplaced. I think it's going to go and give us a little bit of splash on the tower. That's very nice. All right, so the Skeleton should be able to take the precedence as well. Actually, it didn't. The Fisherman hit my tower. I didn't expect the Fisherman to hit that. I thought they would hit the Skeletons. Usually when it jumps onto the tower, it's going to hit the thing that's closest by instead of hitting the tower. But in that specific situation, the Fisherman was smarter. He knew what he wanted to hit. So we're going to go in for the Phoenix here. He's probably going to go and drop the ability and go other side. I'm going to go in for a pre-poison on the Skeleton so that he can't distract us. There's a high chance he goes in for a lightning, which is fine. We've got a very high Phoenix out here, so we're chilling. We're chilling. I'm going to go for Skellies here as well. I could have dropped something else, but I'd rather just play a little bit more safe. I'm going to go in for an Ice Spirit, and then I'm going to Tornado afterward and make sure that we minimize the chance of this Royal Giant doing damage. We're also going to go for a Bomb Tower directly on top, and then go for Skeletons as well, just to make sure that we can go and kill this a little bit more quickly, and then go for our Golden Knight as well. Because the Bomb Tower would explode on anything else that he drops, so it's nice to have that. I'm going to let that lock onto my tower because it doesn't matter that much. I'm going to Ice Spirit afterwards, and I'm going to go in for a Miner. I think the Ice Spirit's going to be tanking for the Miner and the Phoenix, so that's huge. And then maybe we can get away with like a poison on offense as this game starts to come down to the wire. So we're going to go for Skellies here, and then we want to stack up a couple Phoenixes because we know he's going to Royal Giant. And then we want to make sure that we can go in for a Bomb Tower here, so then the bomb doesn't end up hitting everything. We drop it a little bit later. Then I'm going to go in for a Tornado afterward, just so we can guarantee that the bomb and the Phoenix are going to be able to kill the Royal Giant. And then hopefully the Phoenix gets to respawn. It didn't really look like that was going to happen, unfortunately. All right, so what do? We go for Skeletons, we go in for a Golden Knight, we go in for a Miner, and then probably just click the dash, actually, and then go in for the ability. But yeah, we're going to go and drop the dash because it will hit tower, and then we can go for Skeletons, and we can go for Bomb Tower, because we know that our opponent just dropped their log on defense. Then they don't end up having anything for the Skeletons. We want the Fisherman to get without a range of the Miner, so then it can't, like, pull it back, and then we're going to poison here on top of his next Fisherman. That's huge. We can Ice Spirit here and then just keep up the pressure because we know that anything that he defends with on the left-hand side is just going to go into the abyss. We don't have to worry about it. However, things like stack up behind the Royal Giant on the right, yeah, that's going to be a little bit more of a scary sight. He might go for Skeletons here. If he goes in for a Mighty Miner, that's totally okay. I want to go in for a Bomb Tower in a position where he's not able to lightning everything at once. So notice this Bomb Tower placement. He's not going to be able to lightning the tower that he wants. We're going to go in for another poison here on defense just because it's going to slow down everything. I'm going to Miner, and then I think I can get away with a really reliable defense with a Tornado here. Ice Spirit on top of his Electro Spirit, and then get a Bomb Tower down here so the Royal Giant gets retargeted. He's definitely going to go in for a Lightning. So we want to make sure that we go in for a Miner and then a Tornado back on top of his Royal Giant to finish it off with an Ice Spirit. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure that we're able to win this if we just cycle a couple more Miner poisons. So that's what I'm going to go for here. I'm going to go in for a Miner. I'm going to drop a poison, and then I think that he's not going to be able to do enough damage. Even if he goes in for a lightning, Miner poison does more than him. So we will walk away with a gigantic, colossal W. Even if he decides to go for a lightning, we're going to go for a tornado just for some more good measure of damage and then poison him out. So if we had 2 more seconds after this, I'm pretty sure we'd have taken the entire tower. GG and well played to him. That was a fun match, and it's always a good time beating Royal Giant. After beating the bravest Royal Giant player, we're at 2,065 medals, at top 4,600 in the world. I gotta say, I didn't expect any ridiculous Royal Giant warriors that would drop everything they had at the start of the match without even seeing what my deck was. And beating people like that makes the game so much more satisfying. Yo, this guy finished top 29 in the world. He's going to be absolutely insane. We're going to go for our Zappies here to catch the miner in the safe spot, which is never really the safe spot because it's the most predictable placement because everyone doesn't want to activate King Tower Tornado, so they drop it there. We're going to go in for the Sparky in the back because we saw Log and Miner and Knight. Whew, okay, so in these type of matchups, I was talking to the 400 player in the world that runs this deck, and he told me, eat the Miner wall breakers and go all in single elixir because they drop Miner wall breakers and it's 5 elixir and then they can't defend your Sparky pushes. So generally in this type of matchup, if you ever see your opponent with a cycle deck overcommitting, tower trade them because their Miner wall breakers won't take your tower. Meanwhile, your Giant Sparky certainly will. So I'm not going to do anything else here. Sparky's going to die. It's kind of unfortunate. It kind of makes me want to cry. There's Sparky's going to die like that. It's just not delivering a shot in the tower. It is what it is. So we expect him to go in for the Miner on the left-hand side where he already has his damage. So we're going to go for the Mighty Miner and meet his son, maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? How are they related? I want the Clash Royale lore out here. Okay, he's going to go in for archers in the back. We can't arrows them all, even if we try to drop the arrows in the middle, which is unfortunate. I'm hoping he drops something else. Okay, yeah, I'm going to arrows here because we are able to kill the knight slightly quicker. And then we'll see what happens. Maybe the mini-pack is able to get some damage on the tower. I don't think so, but I'd love for that to happen. Okay, so he drops a lot of elixir there with the Miner because now the Miner can't apply aggression. We can go in for the Sparky in the back and then set up our attack. One thing that is scary is if he goes in for a mortar and he logs on top of our Zappies, one mortar shot and log will completely kill our Zappies. So we can't even really defend the mortar unless he's not going to have log and cycle. Also, I want to split up my Sparky and my Giant so the mortar can't shoot on everything at once. I expect him to try to go in for a poison here depending on what his version is. And I also want to rage up my stuff. So I'm going to rage up the Sparky so maybe we can lock onto the tower and get him in a spot that he wasn't expecting. Yo, it's going to lock. It's going to load. Oh, no, I just wasted arrows. I didn't think they were going to survive. What? Wow. I did not expect those archers to just want to die there. That was weird. All right, cool. Whatever. That's a vibe. We'll just say the arrows are the bench warmers. They're kind of just like the MVPs, the cheerleaders. They're making it possible behind the scenes out here. Holy heck, that was incredible. So we're going to go in for a Giant here since the Ice Spirit's going to jump onto that. How am I going to make this work? I think I want to go for Mighty Miner in the back. So then I can arrows and then cycle back to another set of arrows. Or maybe not arrows because I think the Sparky blasts the archer anyway. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We can go in for a mini pack on the right-hand side and then go in for arrows here. Hopefully hitting all the archers. Let's go. That's really nice. All right, do I want to go and pop the bomb? I think I do. And I'm going to go and split Zappies again just to make sure that we can finish off the Phoenixes. And we've got Giant as well if we need to. We're just trying to force out extra elixir with the Mighty Miner so then he's not feeling comfortable out of spot. He's trying to get real fancy with the Phoenixes popping in my face, but it's all good. Because the little popping Phoenixes, the small little birds, they don't even finish off the minions in one shot. So it's quite nice. I think I got arrows here. I didn't know if the Phoenix Egg was going to be targeted by the tower, and it looks like it was. I thought when I saw the Miner, it wasn't going to be, and I just didn't want to pop in front of my face and on the tower. Could have been pretty bad. We're going to go in for a mini pack here, and then we're going to go in for a Giant. I don't have the right card cycle for this, but I still want to make it work. I'm going to go for minions, and then I could rage this up just so the Sparky can give us some extra value. And I want arrows on the Phoenix Egg, and I also want arrow on some extra... Wait! It hit the Knight because the Phoenix Egg popped there. He wasn't ready for that. I don't think he is expecting that to hit everything. All right, so we got to go Sparky in the middle. Can I win this? Because this is coming down to the wire, and he should be able to start to poison me out. This is really scary as it gets to later stages because he can just keep poisoning. I think we have to do dual lane pressure. So I'm going to go for Giant on the right-hand side and the side that he's not expecting. And then we can maybe go in for like a Marvelous Minions push or something. I'm going to go arrows here as well, and then I can go for minions. And I think that the Giant might just take out his entire tower if I'm lucky. I'm not going to... Yeah, I am going to rage it. Why not? Why wouldn't I rage it? We've got minions and we've got Giant packing a punch. This is quite cool. Because he can't poison if I go Sparky in the back right side either. So we're just going to continuously do that whenever I can. I'm going to split up my Zappies so then we know that we'll have a decent answer to his bridge spam. And then we'll go in for a Giant here. I could arrows. I think I need to if I want to finish everything off a little bit faster. And then I need to get back to another Giant. Here is the problem. He is going to start to go minoring me. We've got a Mighty Miner to catch it though, so that's good. We can go in for a mini P.E.K.K.A here, and then I think the Phoenix logs out of my tower, but it's not astronomical damage. We can go for Zappies again, and I need to start spamming them aggressively. If I have any hope of winning this, I need to start spamming really aggressively. So we're going to go in for our Giant here. We're going to arrows here, and we should be able to kill the archers, and then we can rage up our Giant. Jeez, man, this game is really coming down to the wire. 27 player in the world, that's what we're playing against, and we want this win more than anything. He's going to try to log me. I think we can arrows. We can go in for a rage. Just give me the win. I need it. Let's go. I cannot believe I just beat the top 27 player in the world just by like fractions of health. I know I said he finished top 27 in the world, but he actually finished 29. I guess I was so excited about the win that my mind was completely scrambled up. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.